Urban Crag Climbing Center is a rock gym located in Dayton, Ohio, with 8,000 feet of textured and sculpted vertical terrain ranging from 28 to 56 feet. For more info, go to urbancrag.com or call 937-224-CRAG.
Good afternoon. We're here to report about our fruitful trip to Turkey. Within 7 hours of our arrival, the purpose of our trip was being presented on Turkish national television on their version of the morning show called Yeni Gün. We met with the Deputy Prime Minister of Turkey, the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Internal Affairs, the Governor of Bursa Province, mayors of Ankara, Bursa, and the municipality of Büyükçekmece near Istanbul. We also met with the principal officers of the Ankara, Bursa, and Istanbul Chambers of Commerce, as well as the leaders of a business organization known as Myriad. The rectors of the Gazi University, Marmara University, and Aral University welcomed us, as well as directors of numerous cultural organizations. We even met with the U.S. Consular General, Scott Kilner. When we left Dayton, we wanted to create a relationship with the Turkish government at many levels, as well as educational facilities and cultural organizations. I mentioned that we also met with 3 major chambers of commerce. We are coming back with 2 signed memorandums of understanding between the University of Dayton, Wright State University, and both Marmara and Atala universities, located in Istanbul. This was an expeditionary trip designed to create opportunities at many levels. So what else was achieved? What I can tell you is that the state of Bursa is interested in creating a sister state relationship with the state of Ohio. The chambers of commerce in the cities of Ankara, Bursa, and Istanbul are extremely eager to create business relations with the United States, as is Myriad organization. Their chamber organizations are willing to offer us office space. Why Turkey? Very simple. While America has the world's largest economy, Turkey has the fastest growing economy. Here in Dayton, the Ahiska population has more than doubled in 2.5 years. 10% of the total Ahiska refugee population of the United States is right here in the heart of America. It only makes sense to encourage business relationships with their mother country, since we already have a workforce that speaks the native language, making the transition for any Turkish business that much easier.
What were the details of these memorandums of understanding?
General memorandum of understanding for faculty and student exchange, for potential in the future potential research collaborations, as well as partnership in funded research and faculty exchange and so on.
The way we were received very well at high-level receptions. We were given dinners. I think the last one had 41 people. We figured it must have cost at least $100 a plate, right?
Well, that
or
place
more.
was...
It was a sultan's
yes,
mansion.
Summer
Right,
Palace.
right.
Summer
Palace, right. And so we have to be able, if we know that we've got a delegation coming here from any country and they're meeting, it could be the coalition who handles it or whatever, we've got to be able to take them to the racket club and treat them well. And if everybody buys into the concept and everybody contributes, and we just came up with a number like $5,000, you could easily raise a fund of $75,000 to $100,000 that could be used for this purpose. And as it draws down, people can decide whether it's worked effectively and whether they wish to contribute. But my attitude is if you don't contribute, then you don't have a seat at the table. And so
are you talking about private funds, or are you talking?
Well, if every municipality would put $5,000 aside, I'm just throwing the number out. It could be 2,000. But if every municipality would put down $5,000, the hospitals would put up $5,000, the universities would put up $5,000, just for the purpose of receiving international guests, visitors, or whatever, for economic development purposes and expanding our international footprint in Dayton, it would go a long way. What happens is we'll get notified that there's a group coming over here, and the burden ends up being on the city to entertain, and we don't have that money in the budget. But if we can anticipate that this is a direction that we want to go in as a region, then we can set the money aside now. Everyone can budget it now for the purpose. And if it doesn't work, we can all get a refund, as far as I'm
I
concerned.
could hear a critic already saying you guys want a bunch of money for parties for people? Shouldn't it be cheap enough around town? What's the situation?
Well, one of our discussions was actually putting a limit to the amount. For example, you could say no more than $100 per person. So that it doesn't get wastefully spent. You can say, okay, if we've got a delegation coming here from Turkey and there's 20 people in the delegation, the fund will contribute $2,000 towards a reception of food, presents, whatever. We were just discussing that. I mean, it'll have to be figured out. We may even have to have a board that says, yeah, no problem. We actually had a situation here in Dayton where a group wanted to come here from Turkey, and the city had to say, I'm sorry, we don't have money in the budget to deal with that. And I'm trying to anticipate that if we want to play in this international market, we have to be able to have money available. So let's set it aside now. Coming from South America, here we're Brazil. Well, we'd like to them at Delish restaurant or the restaurant. We can tap in. You know, we all paid for our hotel and board trip, but the Turkish government actually contributed towards these receptions and stuff. And we didn't know that. It was above and beyond.
Is it pretty much a regular thing over there when they have?
Every night we were received well with great food and company and everything. And I think some of the business things, the chambers did some stuff too. And there's nothing to stop private enterprise from contributing above and beyond these receptions. But right now we actually don't have anything flexible or available that we can tap into. And so we end up scrambling and trying to come up with something. So I'm just trying to anticipate the inevitable, and if we're going to proceed in this manner, it's inevitable that we're going to generate international interest in Dayton.
Some reasons why they're thinking Dayton would be good to facilitate business forum and actually to have the production here. They see Dayton as a window to the United States market and whole entire North American market. And while doing business in the megapolis like New York, Chicago, or LA is hard due to the different reasons, and one of them is a political atmosphere, cost of living. Dayton is opposite. You know, we are about 25% lower than national average for cost of living. We do have a real good workforce, educated workforce. And plus, our universities are very collaborative with the business industries here. Also, we need to see Turkey as a gate to the Middle East and Central Asian market for our businesses. It's a rising star, has a huge influence in nearby region, and basically, if any serious business want to do something in that region, they definitely have to go to Turkey.
You say really interested. At what point do they be? Where were we at taking them from being really interested to actually checking out sites?
Well, the
going beyond
basic
interest
thing,
level?
in my opinion, it's all in our hands. I really wish that our governor and our state officials and state chamber of commerce, including the Department of Commerce, will, show their interest in facilitating. I do already know that there was a similar thing, but a very small scale in Columbus in May, Global Cities Initiatives, where the JP Morgan Chase invited numbers of distinguished guests and speakers from all over the world, trying to make the mid-scale cities more internationalized. So Dayton is exactly fit that purpose. I think if we can, first of all, our county has to put their resources together. Our business industry, such as banks, universities, Chamber of Commerce, has to put their effort together. And I think the mayor is right. We have to have the funds in order to appropriately receive our guests. Our people, our delegates, can say that from security to hotels, from meals to even marketing materials, was in the highest level, much beyond our expectation. So,
what kind of Turkish industries have expressed it most interest? So what would we be looking
It's
at?
pretty much the same that we have here. Aerospace, they're medical, right? I mean, everything that we're doing here.
High-tech technology.
They've got and manufacturing. I mean, we've got a tour of some of the businesses, and we're looking at the stuff that they're making, and it's exactly the same kind of things. They're making airplane parts for Boeing, there. And-
Sikorsky.
Yeah, I guess the key is, if we get a bunch that are interested in breaking into the American market, they would come here and see what Dayton has to offer. They could meet some people who speak their language and see we have highly educated people here, and a lot of them just don't speak the language well enough, and that creates a problem in terms of employment. So this may be a solution. On the other hand, it gives us a foothold into Turkey too, and we can build a relationship with the country that's literally got the fastest growing economy, and is very important in U.S. foreign policy and Middle East relations.
We want to make sure that things will change in Dayton. We really need to put our political views aside and work together, because this vision can happen as soon as next year in April. It will begin if everybody will support the city, will support our center. Our center is crucial if we want to do this. So I hope that we will have at least attempt to understand what we're trying to do.
100 shirts for only $395. 20 shirts for only $100. Greenleaf Printing and Designs has stupendous signage, printed and embroidered apparel, and promotional products for you. They're at 5526 Burkhart Road in Dayton and on the web at greenleafprinting.com.